Guys, people ask me questions, so I try to answer them in these videos. Here you go. Yes, I did go to college. I didn't do it when most of you guys did it, but yes, I went to college, and when I graduated with a 3.89 GPA after 3 years. Now, I started off, my major thing was computer networking, computer repair. I had already been doing, and most of you don't even know we had these things. I did VCR repairs for a long time, and I did them and made some good money off of them because there wasn't too many people that could fix those things. I learned how to fix them, and I made money from it. But I ended up going when my daughter forced me to go to college, basically. I wasn't in my teens or 20s. I was in my late 30s. Now, by the time I was going through it, and after so many months, I started being told, now, you realize getting into this, you're going to have to go to college to keep, or you're going to have to do these certifications to be kept up on the technology change over about every 6 months. It's changing. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not interested in that. So I picked a different major, which was visual communications, which I had been involved in photography since I went to Greenwood High School. I was allowed to take a photography class over at Central 9 Vocational School while I was in high school. So I was learning, back then it was film, folks. You had to do it wasn't just digital, take a picture and you could print it from, no, it was film, analog stuff, and a dark room in order to make these pictures, make the negatives, and then I forget all the lingo, folks. I was a teenager. So I picked visual communications because I'm an artist. I've made my own. I've done oil paintings since I was 14. I did some oil paintings when I was 14. I haven't really done any since, but I did a bunch of them back then. But I've done hand drawing. I've done all kinds of stuff. I did all my own business cards, pamphlets and stuff that we passed out through neighborhoods and stuff for the businesses that I had. I made all those things. And so one of the classes I had to take while I was getting my degree was I had to shoot a commercial, and it had to use something from the work that I've done before. And while I was going through getting my degree. And one of the first things I did, and it was one of the first classes we had that was basically an art class, and we had to hand draw out it was an ad that I had taken out of a magazine. You had to find the magazine ad and then hand draw it out, change it, and make it your own. But it was just by hand alone. You could use colored pencils, markers, whatever, to get your point across, or what, if you wanted color, you could just pencil draw it out. Well, I picked a ad out of a Winchester and shotgun and rifle magazine. That's fact. And it was a hunter. It was lined up. He was all in his camouflage stuff. It was a hunter. And it had him with his rifle. And there was a big old buck sitting out across the field that he was aiming at. And the ad said in that magazine, do the job right, use the best tools. Winchester shotguns and rifles. So I took that ad and made my own ad, and I drawed it out, and it was you was sitting looking. It was like you was standing back in a motel room, and there was a bed there. You could even see an open window with the curtains and a sign of a motel out front. And there was a mask, a face-covered mask, a bag with money falling out of it. There was a note that said, put all the money in the bag. And it was all laying on the bed. No person. I even drawed the little fire escape map that they had on the doors in the motels. I drawed that all on there. And it was basically a robbery, a bank robbery. And I put on the ad, do the job right, use the best tools, just like the ad that I pulled out of the Winchester shotgun and rifle ad. Folks, these people, back then, this was 25 years ago or more, they was telling me, okay, this is cool and everything. And then I got to a class that I had to shoot a commercial. I had to shoot a commercial. So what I did is I found an old store that had been shut down for a long time out in Mesa, Arizona. Been shut down for a long time. I got my nephew, which was a big old burly boy. Oh yeah, he was big. We used his car. I got him a Halloween costume rubber mask that you'd pull over your head. I brought one of my shotguns. And then, and we used his car and everything in the commercial. And what I did is the school gave me a $65,000 camera to shoot the commercial with. Tripods, everything, lighting, if I needed it, whatever. But this camera was $65,000 by itself to shoot the commercial. So I went out late at night, or it wasn't late, probably 9 o'clock. It was dark, 9, 10 o'clock at night, where you got the street lights and stuff on, but you couldn't really see what was going on. And I got to the corner of this building that had been empty for years. And I had my nephew come out with the mask on, shotgun in hand, and a bag. Looked like it was full of money. And he runs out, and he opens up his car door and he gets into his car. Well, as he's getting in the car, I had to stop the video as he's running out because I wanted the shotgun, Winchester shotgun, to be set right so you could see it was a Winchester shotgun. So I had to stop, and then I started having to redo the shot each time until he could get the shotgun. As soon as he jumped in, he would set the shotgun inside his car in the right position, and then he'd throw the money in, and he'd get in and sit down, still got the mask on. Finally, I got it right. But now I got my nephew running around this parking lot. He's got a mask on with a shotgun and a bag. And there was people that saw it. Well, they called the cops, Mesa police. Police were told, man with shotgun and this and that. And they surrounded the place, folks. I'm shooting this commercial, and I've got Mesa cops surrounding the whole place that I'm on. They're in the commercial. I'm not lying to you. I turned it in that way. Well, they've heard about this school, and they knew what these schools, they put people on these projects, and that's just what happens. So they stayed back, especially after they seen that big camera, $65,000 camera back then that I was using to shoot this commercial with. They stayed back. And then when I started folding things up, they started coming in on me and asked me, school project? I said, oh, yeah. And they said, yeah, we got a call. There was a guy running around there with a shotgun and a bag and a mask on. He goes, I go, well, I didn't hear none of you racing that. No, they go, we came in silent. I said, I know. I've been watching you in my camera. I've seen you surrounding me. Folks, that's a true story. And I hope you got time to listen to it. Because when I turned this video in, the teacher of that school in Arizona asked me if he could keep this in order to help, keep a copy of it in order to help teach his class. And I said, heck yeah, man. I thought I did was great. And a teacher even wants to use it. After I give him permission, he tells me, this is what I'm going to teach them what not to do. He goes, first thing is, your cops are all involved. He goes, second thing is, the subject of bank robberies and all this stuff and Winchester shotguns and rifles, that would never be done today. You wouldn't get nobody to buy it. But in 2025, they use that stuff. So I was ahead of my time. What do you think, folks? But that was just my life back then, eh? That's how I thought. God loves you. I love you. Hope you guys set it out and hear this out, because I've talked about it many times. And it's funny. It really is. And I was definitely ahead of my time, according to that school. Love you guys. Seek Jesus.